A very good afternoon and welcome to Younib News at 1. I am Jesicah Adiang. Now, President William Ruto is among African leaders present at the South Korea-Africa Summit in Seoul. The head of state is on record saying this is not an intelligent move for the African leaders to attend such summits and instead consider sending representatives from the African Union headquarters. The president has shattered his own promise, having pledged not to attend such summits.
We have also decided that it will not going to be business as usual. We have these meetings, Africa-US meeting, Africa-Europe, Africa-Turkey, Africa-India. Now we are waiting for, there is another one, Africa-Russia.
And Africa-Japan.
And Africa-Japan. We have made the decision that it is not intelligent for 54 of us to go and sit before one gentleman from another place. And I mean, and sometimes we are mistreated.
Yeah.
You know, we are loaded into buses like school kids. The decision that we have made as AU is that going forward, if there is going to be a discussion between Africa and any other country, we are going to be represented by the chair, the outgoing chair, the bureau.
Chair of the commission or the chair
and the chair of the Rex, and we have 5 Rex. That should be sufficient for, I mean, a meeting of maybe 6, 7. Yeah. That should be able to represent Africa. And that is the position I am taking as the President of Kenya. For any other meeting that we are going to have with all these requests that we have a meeting between Africa and one other country, we respect the sovereignty of others. I think to ask for reciprocation is not to ask for too much. No.
Now, in other news, the National Assembly Committee on Education has instructed the State Department of Higher Learning to revoke September intake admission letters and instead issue letters with an exact fee structure per student. This is after the MPs cast uncertainty on the efficiency of the means of testing instruments that is used to determine the level of funding per student.
We have asked that that particular fee structure, you need to come out before this committee having made a decision on how you will give us a proper fee structure and how you are recalling the other one. So that don't come next week telling us about how you will want to do it. Come us with the solution so that when you will be working on the placement, the mean testing, the loans and the funding equals to the household fees. And that is what we want from the parent. How much the parent is going to pay in semester 1, semester 2, semester 3. Issues of giving fee structures 600,000, we don't want to see it in this particular thing. So we want you to come back indicating that the student or the family is paying this amount of money. The rest is upon you to link with the university and pay them. Show the parent what he's supposed to pay. If it is 16,000, let it be distributed per semester, 8,000, 4,000 and 2,000.
We will ask the universities then to write to the students and indicate clearly that this is the amount that the household is supposed to pay. The rest has already been is going to be supported by government.
In other news, students at the Chesamisi Boys High School last night slept in the cold due to a fire that destroyed their dormitory. Mr. Christopher Serem, the chief principal, said the incident occurred last night around 9 p.m. when the students were in their evening lesson. The cause of the fire is still unclear.
We are here today and we have come in to witness the burning down of the dormitory. It went down and the dormitory has the capacity of 215 students. They lost everything, but we thank God that we didn't have any injuries and no loss of life. As we stand here with the members of the board and the chief principal of the school, Mr. Serem, we want to say and to pass our sympathies to the students who have lost the property. They have nothing as we speak. And we want to tell our parents that our sons are safe and the school is back to normalcy and the learning is going on.
Yeah, the Board of Management is making arrangements on how the other learners will be accommodated and how the basic needs will be availed. The Board of Management is...
In the night, good enough, the students were still in for prep, so no student was in the dormitory by that time. Just like Bomcha and Sam, those students lost everything.
Now, on matters health, the Council of Governors is raising concerns over an alleged plot to sneak back the health function to the national government. This is through what they term is a well-calculated slur campaign to paint the devolved unit as incompetent. Therefore, the county bosses have wavered the national government for allegedly denying their equitable share revenue a few days to the end of the 2023-2024 financial year.
If the Treasury was giving counties their money as is stated in the law on the 15th of every month, I can assure you that there is no county that will be having any debt to KEMSA by the end of each month. And therefore, I urge the Treasury to release the funds for the counties, all that is owed to them. And I would ask the KEMSA to check their accounts at the end of the month when that money has been released. The counties usually pay their debts to KEMSA depending on the age of the debt. And it's also important to note that there is no county that usually buys from KEMSA upfront. It's always a debt, and therefore there's nothing wrong with having a debt. The problem is when the debt accumulates beyond the 90 days.
You need also to support our efforts to collect more taxes and more revenues and to make sure that everybody pays. The counties should be able to help us because that way we can be able to collect more.
We have had a long discussion over the division of revenue. The Council of Governors was asking for about 425 billion shillings. The Commission of Revenue Allocation was proposing 407 billion, while the National Treasury was proposing to upgrade from the current 370 billion to 380 billion. We have not been able to reach a decision.
We're going for a short break. Stay tuned for more updates.
ni mfanyabiashara katika sekta ya elimu, afya bora, usafiri ama unamiliki kampuni yoyote ile? Ungependa kupata fursa ya kutangaza biashara yako ili kuwafikia wateja zaidi? Usikonde. Runinga ya Younib inakupa fursa ya kupeperusha matangazo kuhusu bidhaa na huduma unazotoa kwa bei nafuu. Kwa maelezo zaidi, wasiliana nasi kupitia nambari za simu 0750344700 ama kupitia barua pepe marketing@younibtv.com. Jinyakulie leo. Younib TV, ever the best.
Welcome back. Now, for the past 6 months, thousands of Kenyans who applied for their national identity cards have been unsuccessfully waiting for the necessary paperwork. Thousands of Kenyans have been camping outside the Huduma centers around the nation. Officials have blamed the problem on a system failure.
It will cost you about 185 to 220, that's the average price. When you add the battery on top of that, the price increases significantly to 2x.
Discouraging the growth of the e-mobility sector and the uptake of EVs, as mentioned by the EMAC, in the last 1 year, there was a growth by over 600%.
These taxes on so many things at one time, you are not doing justice to the economy. One, you are causing hemorrhage. You are hurting, you are injuring private consumption. And you know what? If we don't consume, people cannot produce. There can be no production because who will you be producing for? The very act of consumption, it triggers production.
This dignifies our lives and even our businesses. Otherwise, this Mabamboga, this boda rider will have to go looking for friends, looking for family members to be able to borrow so that they can be able to buy stock or they can actually be able to get fuel for their motorbike. So we are saying we've dignified transactions, we've dignified our lives, we've made it easy, affordable.
Certain telcos, certain banks are actually required to integrate their systems for real-time data collection from taxpayers with regard to financial details, with regard to other particulars that could be provided by the commissioner. How will this then affect your particular right as a taxpayer under Article 31 of the Constitution?
I think it came up in today's submissions, is what if we increased VAT from 16% to say 17%, what would be the impact? And remember, VAT across East African countries is at 18%.
Now, moving on to business news, the Electric Mobility Association of Kenya and the Kenya Bankers Association have today taken their turn in front of the Parliamentary Committee of Finance, expressing their concern regarding the proposed Finance Bill 2024.
Kila time nikikuja naambia tu ni final analysis, na every time na spend cash na lose, but every time nakaisha hadi saizi nimegojea hapa, but bado naambia tuko final analysis, hadi saizi apply anything, inabidi tu nigoje. Saizi hadi ninafanya course ya IT kiasi, but ukitaka kuapply portal ya ajira, wanakuuliza ID number. So ukiapply ajira, hiyo ajira portal, na kama ID number bado tunakataa.
Na imechukua muda mrefu. Ninaomba kama kuna vile ambao tunaweza kusaidika, akaweze kupata hiyo ID so that aweze kuanza hiyo process ya kujaza hizo forms ambazo zinahitajika ili kuweza kuingia katika campus.
Naambiwa niende tena up to 3 weeks or 1 month again. Nasema kuna delay na sijui shida ni nini na sijui nitatumia nini sasa kutafuta kazi, kwenda kuaccess anything juu sina ID.
it has been a while. Nilikuja kuanzia January, nili apply date 3rd January hadi wakati huu haijakuja. So tunakuja kila wakati tunaambiwa tungoje baadaye, na hiyo ID ni kitu ya maana sana. Tumekuwa tukikuja hata kutafuta kazi huwezi tafuta.
Kuja hapa kucollect ID ya mke wangu, alishikilia mwezi wa 3 mpaka sasa hiyo anasema haijafika. Hasa imekuwa delay ya machine, tujajua imekuaje.
Watoto wanataka kuenda college na hawana kitambulisho. Ukienda chief anasema enda mtu fulani. Tukienda huyo mtu anatuma mwingine. Tumekuja asubuhi saa 2 hivi. Hakuna mtu amewezekana mpaka sasa hivi.
Now on to matters sports. The winner of the men's 1,500 meters at the Prague Continental Tour in Czech Republic, Kipsang, clocked at the 3-minute 38.20 seconds.
Kipsang kicks again. The race is on. Kipsang looks to have it. He saves something for the finish, and he takes it ahead of Rack and Davis hanging on for 3rd spots. We had to retaliate.
That is all we had lined up for you today. I am Jesicah Adiang. And remember, as we celebrate the World Environment Day, remember to reduce, reuse, and recycle. Have a blessed day.